After 1941, German officers sympathetic to the resistance had been carefully recruited by Colonel Henning von Treschow and General Friedrich Olbricht and assigned to work at the Bendler Block in Berlin, where the General Army Office was located. There, at the Bendler Block, Stauffenberg would be put in charge of Operation Valkyrie, an ingenious plan that would provide for the deployment of the reserve army in the event of an invasion or civil uprising. Ironically, it was a plan that had been approved by the Führer himself.
And that gave the conspirators the opportunity to use the Valkyrie orders as an instrument for taking over power in Germany.
Of course, the assassination attempt was connected with a much larger plan to stage, in effect, a military coup d'etat and put another government in place. That was going to be launched when Stauffenberg transmitted the news that Hitler had been killed. So the stakes were not just killing Hitler as an individual, but also arresting senior members of the government like Goebbels and others who were in Berlin.
Many of the conspirators, including the former mayor of Leipzig, Karl Goerdeler, and Ludwig Beck, would have important roles in the new administration should the coup succeed. Unfortunately, Operation Valkyrie could only be implemented under orders from one man, General Friedrich Fromm, head of the Reserve Army. And Fromm's support for the resistance was questionable.
Colonel General Friedrich Fromm was a career officer. He saw early in the war that the German resources were insufficient for a successful completion of the campaigns, especially the campaign against Russia. And in the course of 1942 and 43, he moved closer to a position of thinking about helping to remove Hitler, but he had such a high level of self-confidence that he believed that he could manage that alone and that he could control these other people who were plotting against Hitler.
June 6th, 1944. D-Day. After a massive assault on land, sea, and air, the Western Allies gained a foothold on the European mainland. It was now only a matter of time before Hitler's Third Reich would be overwhelmingly defeated. But for members of the military resistance, D-Day posed an even greater dilemma. Why bother killing Hitler if the war is lost anyway?
Da habe ich den Treschow eines Tages gefragt, lohnt es sich überhaupt noch? Daraufhin sagt Herr Bösler, denken Sie dran, 16.000 Menschen werden täglich umgebracht. Nicht fallen, sondern werden von den Nazis umgebracht, Juden und Russen und ich weiß nicht was. Das gilt es zu stoppen. Und das können wir und wollen wir stoppen. Da war die Sache klar, dass das Attentat durchgeführt werden musste und dass ich wieder weiter mitmachte.
Die Motivation von Stauffenberg war vor allem, dass er erkannt hat, dass Millionen von unschuldigen Leuten umgebracht worden sind. Das war sicherlich die Hauptmotivation. Das hat er gesehen und das hat er auch wahrgenommen und hat dementsprechend dann gehandelt.
The participants in the Valkyrie plot were patriots and idealists, people who saw what crimes were being committed and who became convinced that they must act or they couldn't live with themselves afterwards.
On July 1st, 1944, Klaus von Stauffenberg was made Chief of Staff to General Friedrich Fromm. This promotion would now give him direct access to the Führer.
Es gab ja ganz wenige Offiziere nur, die an Hitler rankamen. Das waren entweder, in der Masse waren es Nazi, wie der Feldmarschall Keitel, Jodl und so, oder sie waren zu feige, um das Attentat durchzuführen. Und endlich kam in Stauffenberg ein Mann, von dem man wusste, dass er bereit war, das Attentat durchzuführen, in die Lage, es auch zu tun, weil er in eine Stellung kam, in der er mehrmals im Monat Hitler vortragen musste.
The decision was made. Stauffenberg would assassinate Hitler. It would put the 36-year-old officer on a path with destiny. It would also place Stauffenberg's life and the lives of his pregnant wife Nina and their 4 children in certain jeopardy.
My father didn't want her to know too much, just in case it went wrong. And then she was asked questions, and under pressure she couldn't be able to play the role of the housewife who's just doing all of the cooking. I think the first reaction was, well, is it necessary? But then when she found out that it was really important to him, she was supporting him and was absolutely convinced that it was right and it was necessary. She asked, how are the possibilities to achieve the thing? And he said, well, 50-50.